Here I am back at you again. This is Frank, House of Orange Sports Channel. Your number one, your best, your most all around, your most thorough of Tennessee sports here. We're thorough from beginning to end. We don't just pick it up when it's cool to pick it up. Here, Tennessee baseball tonight drops their second game in a row, 6-5 to Alabama tonight. Make sure you hit the like, the share, the subscribe along the way. If you're going to downvote, it's cool. Leave me a comment as to why along the way. I'd like some feedback as to why you don't like the content. If you do, leave a downvote, and I have no problem with it. But leave me some feedback on that as well, up or down along the way. Tennessee 6-5. Tennessee dropped, got out 3-0. Andrew Fisher bomb earlier on. The second inning, though, the wheels fell off. Liam Doyle walked a guy. He hit a guy. Manny Marin made an error. We had, 2 walks that led to runs, base hits along the way as well. Now, with that said, the wheels did fall off for Tennessee in the second. Alabama made 2 errors tonight as well that enabled Tennessee to score some runs. So, we can sit here and say what we want, but you got to give Alabama credit. They won this baseball game tonight. They made more plays. They made more things happen than Tennessee did along the way. Tennessee had some chances late in the 8th inning. They had first and second with no one out. And a weak hit ball, liner up the middle, and Marin gets doubled off. Some freshmen had freshman moments tonight. Abernathy was 3 for 5. Abernathy had a freshman moment still in second in the 9th inning. With the jump that he got and the pitch that was thrown and the fact that he still got thrown out by a mile, something on that. I think he let up. I think he totally let up. That should not have even been close on the night. Levi Clark 0 for 4, again with 2 strikeouts tonight. In SEC play through 4 games now, Levi Clark has 1 hit. This is where we get into it. And that's why I said people were saying before conference play, is this the best Tennessee team ever? Let it play out. Are they better than last year? It's easy to sit here and think it when you wallop all these non-conference teams along the way. The best 2 teams they played, Oklahoma State and Arizona, they won, obviously, but it was not blowout games along the way. People get too emotional. They get too, I don't know if I would say dramatic, but too overzealous. They overemphasize. I don't know. This is when you just start to find out who does it. And I'll be honest, man, through 4 games, and there's a lot of baseball left to be played this weekend, we got a lot of questions with this lineup, in my opinion. And questions that maybe weren't there before, but because some guys were just absolutely killing it in non-conference. Now that we've gotten the conference, though, a little bit different story. And I think it was a big loss tonight not having Gavin Keelan in the lineup as well. I'm going to hold off on saying who I don't. I think we've got a serious question at catcher. Peebles is hitting 200, 0 for 4 tonight. Had a big opportunity in the 8th inning with the tying run on second. And I know that Osmer has a 1.42 ERA. He's around 90, give or take. A lot of his stuff does not go straight. Peebles struck out on a hanging breaking ball. That ball should be, I'm not going to say hit for a bomb. You got to make contact with that one as well. Again, tough night tonight. I mean, your Tennessee, you gave up no home runs tonight. You did have 11 strikeouts. Bama left 7 on base. On the flip side of that, Tennessee 7 strikeouts, 7 left on base. So if I go through the lineup Curley 1 for 5. His average is down to 295. I'm going to let this weekend play out. I'm about to have some questions here. Abernathy encouraging to me 3 for 5, 1 strikeout, but the caught stealing, something went wrong on that one. I think he let up. I think he let up on it because, again, I felt like he got a good jump, and it was a down and away pitch. It was a off speed, like a breaking down and away pitch. He should have stolen that easily. And then Inslee 2 for 4, had an RBI. Fisher 1 for 3, did have the 3-run bomb on the night. But his ERA is his average, not ERA, is 2.74. Clark 0 for 4. I keep saying ERA. His average coming into conference play was just under 500. It's under 400 now. It has dipped quickly in 2 weeks. Chapman 1 for 3. Marin 0 for 3, 366. Bargo got to start 1 for 4, 234 average. Peebles 0 for 4, 200 average. Make your own conclusion on 234 and 200 here. There's some guys, I'm serious, man. I know who we've established. I've went back and forth on somebody griping about Chris Newstrom taking strike 3 against ETSU. That was a perfect get pitch that ended that baseball game. And based on how he was going back for it, there's no way anybody who is going back is making a swing and making contact with that pitch. But do we start to look at Chris Newstrom, Stone Lawless, and another getting Stone Lawless at bats here? Does it get down to, well, I have enough guys hitting around 200. I put my best defensive guy, Ariel Antigua, in the lineup because I can still sit here and assure you, there's not another infielder even close to Ariel Antigua as far as fielding. Against ETSU, he saved multiple runs in that game. Game 3 of the national championship against Texas A&M last year, he saved a run, which ended up being the difference in the baseball game last year. He stopped one in the hole, prevented the dude who was on second from moving up. Dylan Dreiling does not have a strong arm. Had that gotten through, if that would have been Dean Curley like it would have, that run scores. It's a different ball game in the night. You cannot, and I've had some come on here and say, blast away, your quote, blast away, but I would have Antigua in. I'm not blasting away. I totally agree. Because we're starting to see some holes in the lineup. And it was I've anticipated it. There was no way when you get into this type of baseball that everybody's going to continue to kill the ball because you're going to face good pitching. Alabama's got a lot of good pitching. Their starting rotation's pretty good. There are 4 guys in their bullpen around 2 or less. I can sit here and say, well, they don't throw hard. They've got movement. There's something there, though. All right? So there's something that's why I say a guy like a Dylan Lloyd who come in and had 2 scoreless innings tonight. Teams are not touching it. He's not going to overpower you with the fastball. But his location, his breaking stuff is excellent. You can't sit here and tell me there's not a role for a guy like a Dylan Lloyd or some of these Alabama pitchers. I don't know all about Alabama pitchers, but like an Osmer who is, they're around 90, but they can locate and they can have movement. You can't sit here and tell me there's not a role for these guys in the majors anymore. These guys throwing high 90s, 100 are not as unhittable as these dudes who can move the ball like a Loy or an Osmer can along the way. I'm curious to see what Tony Vitello goes with the lineup. Hopefully Keelan is not out long. He got spiked the other night against ETSU, not put him out tonight. So hopefully, it's a 1-game thing. I don't know if he made the trip or not. I've not seen that. But He is easily Tennessee's best hitter. And for me, if you've listened to my baseball shows, and I go back to last year, I'm all for your main guy hitting first. Gavin Keelan would have been my leadoff from the get-go. Curley, I've said I like it. I'm starting to question it, though, because this is kind of the Curley of last year. He was streaky. But, again, I'm going to let the weekend play out before I ask any more questions on it. But we got to see Stone Lawless tomorrow. I don't think there's any doubt about that one. And, the fact that Cannon Peebles tore up the ACC 2 years ago, and he can't, the SEC, that tells you the difference in the competition there. I've still got hope for Peebles. But I don't know. I think guys like Peebles and Bargo, I think we've seen enough of them. We know what they are at this point. They're going to come through at some point, but there's going to be the inconsistency there as well. I'm not sitting here saying they're bad players. I'm not sitting here saying I dislike them. I'm calling it based on what I'm seeing right now. I'm analyzing the actual at-bats and what has happened. So please don't think I'm throwing off on these guys. I'm not. I'm calling it like I see it. I'm calling it like I say it with Curley. He's on a bad streak right now. But it's not going to get any easier this weekend. Alabama's next two guys, their Sunday guy was the co-SEC pitcher of the week, along with Marcus Phillips last week. Marcus Phillips makes his first true road start tomorrow. Liam Doyle tonight, mixed bag. But I'll tell you this, I was impressed that Liam Doyle was able to work through the sixth inning tonight. He still had 9 strikeouts. Sometimes, if he's going to throw 14, 15 strikeouts and not go 5 innings, I would rather have 9 and him go further. That's just me on it. But he threw 110 pitches, 68 strikes. So he went 6 innings tonight. And really his defense didn't help him any. And the same be said for Alabama's pitcher also. But Tennessee was only charged with 1 error tonight. Alabama charged with 2. It's going to happen. It's SEC play. Losses are going to happen. Can we overreact tonight? Sure. Are there questions tonight? Yes. But let's let the next 2 days play out. I don't think this was that bad tonight. And, again, to me, when it boiled down to it, Alabama made more plays than Tennessee did. And Tennessee had opportunities, definitely the last few innings. They didn't take advantage of them. And I'll be curious to see what Tony Vitello has to say in his press conference. He won't overreact. And at the same time, I think you take a lot of what he says with a grain of salt. But this team they're not done. There's 2 more games. I would venture, I'm going to sit here and tell you, they're going to go into Saturday with the rubber match going on. Carrie and I went live with you after the Tennessee-Wofford game. We'll be live again Saturday. Again, I'm going to promote our channel here. I am consistent covering baseball, basketball, or whatever. If you're going to other places for it, you're not getting what you want. You're getting people it's covering when it's convenient. Take it how you want. But I do take it a little personal on that because I do put a lot of work, especially when we get up to basketball here now. Call it what you want on it a long way. Pride, it is what it is. But I take pride in us doing the best coverage that there is of all the sports. And I'll stand by that one. Frank, House of Orange, last but not least, go Vols.